Hi, in this video we are going to discuss about the salient features and pin configuration of 8051 microcontroller. The 8051 microcontroller architecture has 8-bit architecture and it is mostly used for optimized control applications. If we come into memory part of the 8051 microcontroller, in this they are using ROM memory and RAM memory and expandable external memory are used. In this, the 4 KB on-chip ROM memory is used for program storage in original 8051 architecture, and 128 bytes of on-chip RAM memory is used for data storage, and the external memory up to 64 KB of program memory and 64 KB of data memory is used for external purpose. And the next one is the timer and counter part of the 8051 microcontroller. In this, two 16-bit timer and counter part is worked in 8051 microcontroller. It is named as timer 0 and timer 1 for timing and counting events. And also the serial communication part also used in 8051, that is UART. It is nothing but universal asynchronous receiver or transmitter for serial communication. And in 8051 microcontroller there are 5 interrupt signals are available or interrupt sources are available. In that the 2 external interrupts and 3 internal interrupts are available. The 2 external interrupts named as INTO0 and INTO1, and the other 3 are timer 0 interrupt, timer 1 interrupt and serial port interrupt. So including that, in 8051 microcontroller the input output ports are also available. In this, 4 input output ports available. In this, it is named as P0, P1, P2 and P3 for interfacing with external devices. And the 8051 architecture having a rich set of instructions. It includes the arithmetic, logical and data transfer operations. The next one is the bit addressable RAM. In this, the 128 bytes of RAM are bit addressable. That means it is allowing the individual bits to be set or cleared. And the next one is the power saving mode of 8051 architecture, the ideal and power down modes for reducing power consumption. Coming to clock frequency, the 8051 microcontroller using 12 MHz clock frequency, and it works under the baud rate of 9600 baud rate per second. And it used in full duplex UART. The serial port can operate in full duplex mode, allowing simulations, transmission and reception. And the Boolean processor, it has dedicated instructions for bit manipulation. And coming to the part of pin configuration of the 8051 microcontroller, the 8051 microcontroller totally having 40 pin IC. It is a dual inline packaging. So because it's the two sides are equally shared by the equal pins, and the most of the pins are represented as the port pins, that is the 4 ports, each port having 8 pins. So totally 32 pins are occupied by the port pins also. The main is the ground pin and VCC. So the ground is a 20th pin and VCC is our 40th pin. So plus 5 volt power supply is used for VCC, and this is the ground pin. And the next one is XTAL2 and XTAL1. This is for clock signal frequency pins. That is, the crystal oscillator is used to generate the clock frequency of the 8051 microcontroller. Based on the clock frequency of the microcontroller, the execution speed of the instructions in 8051 microcontroller is decided. The port is considered as first port is port 0. It is represented as a P0.0 to P0.7. And the second one is P1.0 to P1.7, and third port is P2.0 to 2.7, and fourth port is P3.0 to P3.7. Here the fourth port is used as a multifunctional port for external purpose only, and the first port is acted as a address and data lines, And the third port is used as a address lines, and second port is used for the general purpose of the operation. So now we are going to explore each port individually. The port 0 pins is a 32 to 39, that is a P0.0 to P0.7. So it will act as a multifunctional port, and it is activated during external memory access, and if it is not used for memory access means it will used for a general purpose input output port. And the second is a port 1 and port 2. The port 1 pins occupied is the pin 1 to 8, P1.0 to 1.7. So it is mainly used for general purpose input output port. It does not have any alternate functions. It only performs the general purpose input output functions. So port 2 pins are 21 to 28, P2.0 to P2.7. This port is also acted as a multifunctional port. During external memory access, it provides the high byte of address bus, that is A8 to A15, and when not used for external memory access, it can be used as a general purpose input output port. And the next port is a port 3, that is pins 10 to 17, P3.0 to 3.7. So this port is act as a several alternate functions. P3.0 will act as a serial input pin for UART, serial communication receiver pin, and P3.1 will act as a serial communication transmitter pin. We know that INTO interrupt external interrupt 0, external interrupt 1 pin, and the three internal interrupts timer 0, timer 1, and the external data memory write is P3.6, data memory read stroke is P3.7. And the other control signals are RST, it is nothing but reset input. If it is active high input means the least 2 machine cycle resets the microcontroller. ALE bar PROG. ALE is nothing but address latch enable. So it is used for during external memory access. PROG is nothing but program pulse used during flash memory programming, and PSEN is a pin 29. It is a program store enable. So it is used to read the instructions from external program memory. So it is normally active low signal. And EA bar VPP is nothing but external access enable and programming voltage. So EA is high means it is connected to VCC. So microcontroller fetches the instruction from the internal room. And EA is low means it connected to ground. The microcontroller fetches all instructions from the external memory. VPP is programming voltage used during flash memory programming. So XTAL1 is a crystal input and XTAL2 is a crystal output, and VCC power supply and GND ground connection. So from this, the microcontroller chip is a 40-pin IC. So it is having so many salient features. Thank you.